My name is Chelsa Muña. I'm from the village of Manila, but now live in Talafofo with my family. It was actually kind of serendipity. I've always been concerned about, health and holistic healing and things like that. And I saw a flyer that UOG was selling baby chicks. So I went and bought 8 baby chicks. Initially I thought I'd start with 4, and then I got all excited when I was there, so it became 8. And I wanted to raise them for my family, so we could just start off with growing our own eggs. And then I'd start planting basil. It was a kind of an evolution where at one point I realized I'd been studying different agriculture components or curriculum for 10 years. And I didn't realize that much time had lapsed, or that's what I'd been doing. I was just kind of interested and started learning things. And it just became part of our life. It wasn't really that we were farming. It's just how we wanted to live, was growing our own produce. And if we were going to eat chickens, then I wanted to raise our own chickens so that we could guarantee that they were clean and safe for us. So it became more of a life choice rather than just farming. No one in our family had ever farmed, which is kind of what made it more of an aha moment when I realized how much I'd been learning about it. My boys, when we first started raising hens for eggs, it became their job, and they could keep the money from all the eggs that we sold. My youngest, Zen, he'd prefer to be outside over inside any given day, any given moment, whether it's day or night. He loves following his dad around, and his dad is what made this property grow into what it is now. We have the basic trees: avocado, mango, laguna, achoti, lemons, calamansi, lemonchina, key lime, Malabar spinach, Tongan spinach, kangkung, star apples, rose apples, moringa, mulberries, papayas, jackfruit. There's even a durian tree back there, pineapples, hot peppers, coconut, pugwa, lemongrass, basil, dill, and I'm sure there's stuff I'm forgetting, but that's just some of it. The more I studied about farming and how you grow things, I was introduced to the book One Straw Revolution. In that book I learned about the diversity and the harmony that you try to keep in whatever you're growing. And that always brings me back to what I learned from a friend of mine, Rita Nalta with Guampedia, is that CHamoru culture is based on living in harmony with nature and with those around you. The idea of monocropping is a Western concept, and that's kind of what's led to the state of corporate agriculture and, the devastation on the land and soil, and making it harder for farmers to recoup when there's a storm or something to recover from, is because you're only growing one thing. But when you have a diversity existing in your property, then nature kind of takes care of itself, and you have less pests, you have less invasive species, you have less sickness that can impact your produce or whatever you're growing, because the diversity is what strengthens everything around. When it was first created, the department had a substantial role in agriculture. It was well funded, it was well supported by the legislative and administrative segments of the government, and it provided resources and support to help farmers get started. They could lease land, they could lease equipment, they had a loan program. It's shifted a lot since then. The department became one of the lowest funded agencies in the government. I recently discovered that in the section that helps farmers itself, Agriculture Development Services, there are professional positions, and then there are tech positions which help support the professionals. The last time they hired a professional position in that section was 1991. That was 30 years ago, basically. We just hired 3 new positions, or filled 3 new positions this year. So this is the first time that anyone's been hired since 1991 for that one section specifically created to help farmers. So I think that kind of tells you how much support has been put behind the agency and its purpose. And we recently were awarded a grant to provide small grants to farmers and nonprofit organizations specifically designed for farming or agriculture. So we hope to make that a recurring program for farmers in our community. I came in wanting to use the agency as a platform, and I saw an opportunity where we could change how we farm and how we do agriculture here. For me, I understood about wanting diversity, and in talking with the division chief, it was so refreshing and relieving to realize he understood and had the same thoughts. Like, he had the same concepts in mind about how to farm and wanting to shift or make that shift. Whatever you think you want to accomplish or grow, you can, and just try, because you never know. I mean, we've got pineapples standing next to pugo trees, you know, and lemongrass and mango growing where we drain our water from the outside kitchen sink. Allow yourself to be creative so that you don't get stuck thinking you need rows and rows and rows of one thing, but rather you should have circles and figure eights or straight lines in certain areas of just different things. It's absolutely not as hard as you think it has to be. The idea that the farmer has to wake up at the crack of dawn to go out and work all day in the sun, it's just not true. At least for me, that's what we found, and we don't have to live that way. If you want to think egocentric, it's healthier for you. It's healthy for you and your family, and in the long run, it's on the larger scale, it's better for the environment, it's better for the planet. It becomes cheaper for you and your family, and you help support your local economy to strengthen your schools, your infrastructure, you know, to have better roads. It all comes back to you if you're buying from your local farmer, and everything just tastes better no matter what it is you're growing. What I would hope to see are just thousands of little farms with biodiversity, and you hear birds, and you have ducks eating all your slugs, and the ladybugs eating other pests, and bees buzzing around fertilizing or pollinating everything. You have chickens giving you manure, and carabaos, and everyone helping to feed everyone. We just need to be able to have that shift in mindset.